So this is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by the former British middleweight champion, Denzel Bentley. Denzel, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. You returned in November after losing the British title with a very convincing victory in 3 rounds. Kind of what you would be expected to do, someone of your stature, but you must be pleased with the performance. How do you think it went?
Yeah, no, it was a good performance. It was just more of a case of I just wanted to get out and end the year on a win. So I was happy with that performance.
Have you changed anything, either in your training methods or your team or anything like that, since the fight with Felix Cash back in, April?
Yeah, I've changed a few things. Or not really changed. I've added a few things, I should say. I haven't really changed anything. I've added a few things.
Can you tell us what those things are, at the risk of being intrigued?
Not really. But I've just, added a few things and tweaked a few things that I know I needed to do before that loss. But that loss just made me, do it.
And there must have been a temptation, maybe not for you directly, but perhaps members of your team, to bring you back in an easier fashion, an 8-rounder or a journeyman, work your way back in. You went in with Sam Evans, who had a very good record and obviously came to win as well. Was that a conscious thing on your part that you wanted to go back in at a good level?
Yeah, I didn't want that. I wanted to go back in at a good level. I didn't feel like I needed that. I didn't feel like I needed a fight for a confidence boost or an easy fight to ease back into it. I just felt like, let's just get back to where we left. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get straight back into it, fight someone with a good record and, just get back in position to do things that I want to do in the sport.
Was there an element of, after suffering your first defeat as a pro, you wanted to get back in sooner rather than later, kind of eradicate memories of what had happened?
Yeah, I wanted to get back into that as soon as the fight was done.
Yeah.
As soon as the fight was done, I was like, "Oh, can I rewind time?" You just wish you could rewind time and do it again. But obviously, I had to wait a lot. To be honest, we were even going to go out to Russia. That was an option as well. Fight one of these Russians on their home show. That's just how eager I was to get back out, and I was confident I was going to beat that Russian as well. But obviously, then I got the call saying I'll be out on September 11th. On Sonny Edwards versus Mama, his name Mama, the Mama card, and then that got pulled on fight week. And I just had to stay in the gym, and when I got that call up for November, I was already ready.
And what's the plan at the moment? We'll talk about the board orders shortly, but is there already a plan in place for you to get back out early this year?
No, not just. Obviously, we just got back, off Christmas not long ago, so it was just about to get back into it. They were telling me that there was something planned, and obviously, of course, it must have been that what the board just ordered the other day.
Yeah. And Christmas, let's go through that before we move on. How was it for you? Did you enjoy it? Were you able to, have something to eat for a start?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Things kept changing. Like, we were meant to be out in February, then obviously all January shows got cancelled. So Queensbury decided to just push their shows back from Feb to March. So that left everyone a bit more time to enjoy Christmas. So Christmas was all right for me. I didn't have to leave anything out. I was able to just, enjoy my Christmas. So that was good.
Now, the original board orders for the vacant British title at middleweight did not involve you. It was Danny Dignam and Linus Udofia. Obviously, Danny pulled out for whatever reason. I assume his higher WBO ranking might have something to do with it. Were you surprised to get the call? Were you surprised that Danny pulled out?
No, not really, because when the call came that what's his face? Cash had missed the purse bids or whatever it was. I'd slid in straight away. Well, not me, but me. Well, obviously not me personally, but my team slid in straight away. Like, listen, we'll fight. So we obviously contacted Steve Goodwin saying, "No, if you need an opponent, we're ready." So we was already asking for it, and of course they didn't really get back in the time we felt like they should have. So I'm guessing, obviously, my team extended that further and contacted the board saying, "Right, listen, we're credible opponents. We're coming off a win, so let's get it on." And that's where we are now.
So there's no sense then that, you've been British champion, you've been there, done it, and you're ready to move on. You're happy to go back and win that belt again. Because, there's not many 2-time British champions out there.
No, there isn't. But at the same time, it's like, I was ready to move on. I was. But then, like, I discussed it. I'd have, conversations with my team and stuff saying, like, "Oh, listen, look, let's try this route and that route. Or this is here, that's available. This is there, whatever." But then it was like, I always said to myself, right, if the opportunity presented itself again, which, to be honest, I didn't think it would, because I thought Cash was going to hold on to it for a while. But I said, if the opportunity was presented itself again, I would do that before going back, moving on again, because I didn't like the way I lost it, basically. So, you know, I just want to just grab it and then move on rather than just moving on, because then there'd always be that little thing like, I didn't really defend my title. I just lost it. And obviously, I know I'll still be in position to move on and, you know, box for international bouts, whatever, European, whatever may come. But I always said to myself, right, if it does come, I'm not looking for it or eager to get it, or just like, what's the word I'm trying to use? I'm not just like hovering around it, waiting for it to be free again. But if it did present itself, I would, and it did. So I'm going back for it, innit?
Are you at all fussed whether it ends up on a Queensbury show on BT or a Sky Sports boxer show?
Nah, I'm not really fussed what shot it's on, as long as we get to box, you know, in the ring. Everyone's happy in it. But nah, I'm not really fussed what shot it's on. No.
What do you make of Lioness as a fighter? Do you know him at all? Have you sparred him? Have you bumped into each other at shows and stuff?
Yeah, bumped each other at shows. I've never sparred him before. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Hence why he's in the position that he's in. But don't know him personally, but we spoke a few times. Met each other at shows because, you know, our names have been mixed together from like small show days, innit? So yeah, so we know of each other. We've spoke to each other as well. I'm not like, yeah.
Given the level that you fought at in comparison to him, he's a very talented fighter, but you fought at a much higher level. Would you expect to go into the fight as the favourite?
It doesn't really matter who's favourite. I don't know. To me, I'm going in there and it's a win for me, but I don't know how everyone else sees it. And to be honest, I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? It's just whatever. I haven't really thought of that. You're the first to put it in my mind, who would be favourite and who's not and who's what and this. I actually never thought of that. That's a good question, but I don't really care, to be honest.
And we talked about sparring just now. You've never sparred Lioness, of course, but in the last year or so up to the Cash fight and then after that, who have you been sparring with? Who you been getting around to with?
A few people, you know, a few people. I've done some rounds with Sam Egerton, done some rounds with River Wilson, done some rounds with a lot of people, man. I just can't think of them right now. But you know me already. I'm always in the gym sparring hundreds of rounds anyway. So people that just rock up, we're there. But I sparred a few good fighters. I sparred there's some Russian guy that was quite good. I forgot his name, but he's good, and I won't be surprised if in the next year or so he bursts into the scene. I'll be like, yeah, that was him. Well, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
We'll catch up then. You can tell me then.
Yeah.
You say about people rocking up in the gym, but obviously you're in the private Peacock Gym now rather than the public one in Canning Town. I'm guessing you don't get as many gate crashers, but there's a lot of advantages from what I've seen of both gyms. How are you adapting now? You've been there for quite a while.
Yeah, no, we're all comfortable there. We're all good there. People still got Martin's number. They obviously know of the Peacock Gym. So if they're looking to go to Peacock Gym, they might ask, "Oh, where is it now? Oh, here's the number you need to call." So people still go up there. We still need to start sparring for ourselves. So there's always calls being made for people to come down and you know and get some rounds in. But there's always good people around. Like Dan Aziz and Brian O'Shaughnessy's mob. They come down every week to spar as well. So that's always good sparring. And anyone else that just needs sparring, they might know a few names. We got fighters near enough around every weight. So, and Martin's well known in the scene. So if anyone needs rounds, they just give him a ring and they come down. So sometimes I don't even know who's coming down. I just come to the gym and everyone's there just getting ready. I'm thinking, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So.
How happy were you to see Dan win the British title light heavy?
Oh, I was happy. I was proper happy for him because he trained so hard for that fight, so hard. And when he won it, I was like, yeah, I was happy for him. I was. He knows how happy I was for him anyway, but I was happy for him.
What's it like sparring a light heavyweight when you're a middleweight? Because I'm guessing you've got the speed advantage, but you know he must have an edge in strength and power.
There's actually a difference in sparring in light heavyweight and sparring Dan.
Okay.
There's a difference. Sparring Dan is horrible. Sparring light heavyweights, yeah, it could be all right depending on who it is. To be honest, the Russian guy I was talking about, he was actually like heavyweight. He was good as well. But some of them are just they'd be a lot physically stronger. That I'd have to just use my speed a bit more, fast hands, move my feet in and out and stuff like that. But sometimes I like to try and see if I can stand there with them. And sometimes I'm successful. Sometimes I'm not in it. But it's all learning and practicing. So yeah.
Why is it so horrible sparring Dan in particular? What does he bring?
Dan's mad deceiving. You don't know how strong Dan is until you get in there with him. Like when he gets in there, you just feel his presence. You just feel the physicality of him. Like he's always in your face. His work rate is crazy. He's got a crazy engine. So with that engine and that physicality and his work rate, it's just horrible to be in there with him. Like he's always in your face. He's always throwing shots. Doesn't slow down. And when he is getting tired, he doesn't show it. You hit him with a good shot and he'll tell you good shot. Do you know how disheartening that is?
It's a bit patronising, I suppose. Yeah,
it's crazy. You hit him with a big shot and he's telling you good shot. You're thinking, what's going on? But yeah, but I love getting around with Dan because it's just that toughness. It gives you that toughness and it makes me think. And if I can have a good round against him, I know I've learned something in that spar. Like, okay, yeah, I've realised he does this. And then once that happens, he will switch what he's doing and he just keeps pressing. His pressure is different.
There's a lot of fighters out there that when they suffer their first defeat or even later defeats in their career, they move gyms. And, without saying it, they're kind of putting some of the blame for that defeat on their team. Did you ever consider moving on? And if not, why not? Why are you different from a lot of other fighters?
No, I didn't consider moving on. But I can't speak for other fighters. But for me, I don't blame anyone for anything that happens to me but myself. Like, even if it was, I'm not saying this, but even if it was someone else's fault, that's my fault for letting it be their fault. You get what I'm saying? Like every decision is ultimately down to me. So whatever it is I'm being asked to do, or whatever it is it's up to me to do it. And I put my trust in them, in that team, and they got me to the British title, not just to compete for it, but to win it. So how comes the first 14 fights were all good, and then the 15 fights were all good, and then the one I lost, oh, now it's your fault. So there's obviously more good than bad. There's things to tweak. We got back to the gym. We're working on things. We're doing new things. We're adding things, and I'm seeing it, and we're making a difference. We're improving. If that wasn't the case, then I may be like, okay, this is the same thing that led me to this loss. I might have to make a move now myself. But when we got back, we just tweaked things, worked on things, added things, switched things around. And it's working, isn't it? So as much as I'm making a change, my team is making a change to make sure what happened to me last time doesn't happen again. And I'm happy with that. But like I said, anything that happens to me is my fault because I've got the last say in whatever happens in my life. So yeah, that's another reason why I didn't, think I need to leave gyms and maybe this person's better than that person. It's just all nonsense to me.
How much would a Felix Cash rematch mean to you?
No, I'd love it. I love it. Like I just keep saying, I just have to keep working hard, and God willing, I get to a certain level, world level, which I like to be. And he's on his way there. So if he hangs there, I'd meet him there. And like I said earlier today, instead of us unifying the domestic titles, we'd probably be unifying world titles in a rematch, and I'd get to make things right. But that's a conversation for another day. God willing, we get there, and when we do, we can have that discussion properly.
What is kind of the long-term plan? I know you said Lioness, it's a win for you in your mind already. You want to grab it and then move on. So does that mean you're not looking at a long reign as British champion? You're looking at just picking up the belt and then looking to the world scene or the European, for example?
Well, like you said, being two-time British champion, I don't think you need a long reign. Like, I don't want to be the guy that just boxes at domestic level forever. Like, I've got a plan for myself, and I hope my team have a plan for me too to lead me to world honors, and that's where I want to be. So just win that back, and now we've claimed back what we lost, and now it's time to claim back what we lost and get more from it. So that's the first step, claiming back what I lost, and then moving on is getting more from it. I can't just get more by hanging around trying to fight every domestic fighter there is. You know what I'm saying? So I want to branch out and be known on the world stage, international bouts, European, wherever it may be, but just grab that and move on. That's the plan in my head. But like we said, in boxing, anything can happen. There's no plans.
Now, it wouldn't be a Denzel Bentley interview if I didn't ask you for a prediction on an upcoming fight. I think we've done it pretty much every time. It just so happens there's a big domestic fight in your division in a few weeks, so it's perfect timing. Chris Eubank Jr, Liam Williams going at it in Wales is going ahead, which is great. What do you think was going to happen on the night?
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. I keep saying it depends what version of Eubank turns up. If he starts doing the Roy Jones trying to wobble, I don't know. I think Williams is just going to think, I'm sticking it right on you. And if the old Eubanks comes back with him for war, and I think he could win with that style. But if he's trying to implement his new style, and which I haven't really been impressed with lately, I think Williams wins that. So it all depends.
Did you just call it the WIBBLE? I just want to check that.
Yeah, he's been like when the Morrison was just wobbling. I don't know what he was doing, but I wasn't impressed with it. Maybe because it was Morrison and he thought like, you know, he's on another level. He just thought try something new. But I wasn't.
Bloody old WIBBLE, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it. I'm never going to be able to watch him do it now without thinking of that. So that's right. Now, before I let you go, I ask you this every time, but just in case people forgot, I mean, you're only in the ring in November, so I'm sure they haven't, but where can they find you on social media?
Both Twitter and Instagram, 2sharp_D. The number 2 sharp SHARP_D. That's me on both.
Great stuff. Really great to talk to you again. Look forward to when the fight's announced, either goes to purse bids or negotiation, whatever, but really good fight. And yeah, can't wait to see you back fighting for that Lonsdale Belt.